Hi, and welcome to the last in the series of Sign Up. Coming up, Sean is making travel plans for his dream holiday. Kevin is here with the last grammar facts. And Josephine with the final deaf success story of the series. But first up, ever get handed your payslip in work and couldn't make head nor tail of it? SJ is on hand to explain in a step-by-step guide. Enjoy.
Oh, where's all my money gone? Hey! Hey!
Okay, bye-bye. Yes. Where's my money? Be smart. But that's a deduction. It gets taken off.
From tax?
Yeah? Yeah? So this is what you end up with.
Oh, be smart.
Yeah, well, sorry.
I'm just looking at my payslip. As well as showing the wages I earned, it's also showing me all the tax that's been taken away from my hard-earned wages. My boss tells me that under Irish law, anyone who earns or receives income has to pay tax, unless they qualify for tax exemptions. They don't have to pay tax. But although it seems like a lot of the money you earned doesn't actually end up in your pocket, tax is important because your tax goes to schools, teachers' wages in colleges. It pays for educating all of Ireland. It pays for public roads. It pays for hospitals and wages for doctors, nurses, etc. Tax goes towards social welfare benefits, like disability allowance, children's allowance, and other benefits. It pays for the Gardaí, the army, and the courts. No wonder I'm so broke. Sometimes reading your payslip can be difficult. Let's break it down. Your payslip will include your full name, employee number, and your PPS number. This is your personal public service number, formerly known as RSI, which everyone gets from the Department of Social and Family Affairs. Your PPS number is important because it helps you to access benefits and information from public services, such as hospitals, educational organisations, like universities, and schools. The Revenue or tax office, or even social welfare, to claim the dole or the disability allowance. Your PPS number has 7 digits and 1 letter, such as A, S, or W, and so on. PAYE stands for Pay As You Earn. Another name for this is income tax, which means your employer calculates and deducts tax from your wages or salary each time you get paid. So when you get your wages, your tax has already been removed. You can find out how much tax has been removed under total deductions, which means all the tax you've paid added together. PRSI is short for Pay-Related Social Insurance, and can also be known as health contribution. This is paid by employers and employees. Depending on how long you've been paying contributions, you may be entitled to free eye tests, glasses, dental care, and maternity benefit. And when you retire, that's when you stop working, you can get the state pension. There are 11 different PRSI classes, which are decided by your type of employment. Most Irish employees work industrial, commercial, and service-type jobs. For example, factory, office, or waiter all fall under Class A. Other classes include Class B, which among others covers civil servants recruited before 1995, and S, which includes people who run their own businesses. These are only a few of the classes. There are others. Each of these classes is further divided into different categories. Class A is subdivided into categories such as A1, AO, A8, AX, and so on. These categories relate to the amount of PRSI which your employer and you must pay. This can vary depending on the class you're in. So, if I earn €500 a week, this means I'm in Class A1. If I earned between €38 and €352 a week and had a medical card and widower's pension, I would be in Class AO. The amount of PRSI you pay will depend on your earnings and the class you are insured under. PRSI employer is sometimes shortened to PRSI EOR. This shows the PRSI contributions made for you by your employer. PRSI EE shows the PRSI contribution that I paid myself. Employer PRSI TD shows the contributions made by both of us from January to date. Now, remember, I mentioned about PRSI classes, such as AO, A1, A8 and AX. How do I know which class I'm in? Look under Pay Code, or sometimes it's called Pay Related Code. Okay, so we keep talking about all the money that's taken out. But what about what's left? Gross pay means the total amount of money that you've earned. Wow, nice. I think it's time to start shopping. Oops. Gross pay is your wages without any tax deducted, like my PAYE and my PRSI. Better bring some of this back. Net pay is the actual amount of money you receive after all taxes are deducted, and is what you take home. Okay, what else is included on my payslip? As well as including your name, employee number, date, and PPS number, your payslip will also contain a tax credit figure. Tax credits are the amount of income on which you don't pay any tax. How do you know how much of a tax credit you're entitled to? It depends on your personal circumstances. If you're married or single, have children, have a mortgage, are renting or studying. Make sure to check with the Revenue or Tax Office to find out if you could be claiming more tax credits and paying less tax. Here's an example. I'm single, paying rent, and a member of a trade union. As I'm single, I automatically get a single person's credit of €1,830. I pay rent, and if I apply to the tax office, I could be entitled to a rent tax credit of €400 a year. I'm a member of a trade union, so I could get a tax credit worth €70 for 1 year. Altogether, my tax credits amount to €2,300 for 1 year. I get €538 a week in wages. My tax credit is €2,300 for the year. So I divide that by 52 weeks and I get €44.23. This means that I don't pay tax on the first €44.23 of my wages. You only pay tax on the remaining €494. STD cutoff means your standard rate cutoff point. There are 2 rates of tax, a higher rate and a lower rate. Your cutoff rate varies depending on your circumstances. Being married, single, if you have children. So, if you're a single person, your cutoff point is €35,400. And let's say your wages are €30,000. All your wages are within the lower tax bracket of 20% because they're under €35,400. You pay tax on earnings above €35,400 at 41%, but your wages in the lower tax rate are still taxed at 20%. Pay period refers to how long you're being paid for. So, for example, if your payslip indicates number 5 and you get paid weekly, the number 5 indicates the 5th week of the year from January, where week 1 of January is number 1, where week 2 is number 2, and so on, so that the first week in February is week 5. Frequency is how often you are paid. W stands for weekly, F stands for every fortnight, that is every 2 weeks. If you see M, this means that you get paid monthly. See? I get paid every week. The tax status, or tax code, indicates what kind of tax you're paying. If your payslip says N, this stands for normal. If it comes up as E, this means you're paying emergency tax, which is a temporary higher rate of tax that might apply if you've just started a new job and you haven't given your new employer your tax information, or if you're waiting to receive tax information from your previous employer. If your payslip says E and you've been in your job a while, you should talk to your employer. This cumulative column is a summary of your wages and tax for this week, and all your wages and tax since January. Remember, if you are still unsure about information on your payslip, ask your employer to explain it to you.
Hello. Today we'll be talking about gender. This can mean either a man or a woman. In ISL, we would tend to point to indicate a man or a woman. For example, a woman needs carrots, so she goes to the shop. Second example, a man needs a haircut, so he goes to the barber's. See how I just pointed to indicate who went? English is different. They specify gender. Have a look.
Like, he has awful hair.
Ha! She wears too much makeup.
I'm not talking to him.
The same goes for me. I'm not talking to her.
I think I hurt his feelings.
I hope I've hurt hers.
Kevin? Friends?
Asha, why not? See the differences between ISL and English? In English, specific words indicate gender, but you and there can relate to either gender. In ISL, we just point. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, how are you?
I'd like to book a return ticket, please.
Okay, where would you like to go?
Iraq. Should I go? I'm really not sure. I should have planned this better. Let's go back to the beginning and work out a better way to plan my dream son holiday. If you feel like taking a bit of a break and travelling somewhere new, there are a few things you need to do before you go. The first is to choose your destination, i.e. where you want to go on your holidays. Take a look at brochures which have information on where to go and hotels or apartments to stay in. Or you can go to travel agents and get more information. And ask friends about places they visited. There's also plenty of information on the web. If you're not sure how to use the internet, you can go to your local library or internet cafe and ask someone to show you how.
Hi. Have you not used this website before? Okay. See where it says search? Just put in there where you want to go and then click on there and then see what happens.
All right, I have it now. Before you book your holiday, it's a good idea to do some research about your destination. The last thing you want on a relaxing sun holiday is to end up in shorts with snow up to your knees. Or in the middle of a war zone. Again, the internet is a great place to find out about your destination. Try www.frommers.com or www.lonelyplanet.com. These sites will give you all kinds of information. Where to go, where to eat, where to stay and have fun, and interesting things to do. It also has reviews from other people who visited those places and important information, such as when to go. If it's summer in Ireland, it's winter in South Africa. The political climate, whether the government is stable or not. Is the country at peace or at war? If there is a war or danger of a war, you don't want to end up in the middle of it. The religion and customs. Islamic countries don't allow alcohol or revealing clothes. You wouldn't want to arrive in short-sleeved tops. It's important to know the culture in advance. Next is a list of emergency numbers and numbers for embassies. This is important because if you end up in hospital or lose your passport, get arrested or robbed, they may be able to help, so it's important to keep a copy of their contact details on you. This is my passport. Make sure you have a valid, not out-of-date passport for your trip. It's important to check that it's valid until your return. You and your children will need to bring a passport. If you're flying to the UK, you can use your driver's license as ID. But some airlines insist on a passport. You can get an application form from some post offices, all Garda stations, libraries and citizen information centres, and also from the passport offices in Dublin and Cork. Send the application form with 2 signed passport photos, proof of citizenship, like your older passport or a birth certificate, and the fee. You can either drop in or send your application to the passport offices in Cork or Dublin. Or use An Post's Passport Express service, which guarantees your passport in 10 working days. Apply for your passport in plenty of time, so you have it before your trip. If you're travelling outside Europe, your research on the web may have said you need a visa. You apply for one of these through a country's Irish embassy to ask for permission to enter their country. You can apply for a temporary visa to work, study, or for a holiday. For example, if you want to work in America, you apply for a visa from the American Embassy in Dublin. You can check out www.projectvisa.com to find out if you need a visa for that country and how to get it. Make sure to ask your travel agent if you're unsure about what you need. If you're booking a holiday, the web has loads of special offers. You can book flights and accommodation online by credit card. Check our website for more details, www.def.ie, for a list of reputable sites. If you prefer to book your holiday face-to-face, you can go to travel agents and ask lots of questions. Regardless of whether you're using a travel agent or the web, make sure to shop around for the best deal. Other things to be aware of include what currency the country uses. In most EU countries, you can use euros wherever you go. If you fly outside the EU, for example America, you'll need dollars. So you can come to a bank like this for their Bureau de Change, where you can exchange your money into another country's money. Make sure to contact the bank a few weeks before you go, as they may need to order currency for you. You can also buy traveller's checks, which can be replaced if lost or stolen. Carry money, credit cards and traveller's checks separately. Never put them in a bag you're checking in. Your health is the most important thing to take with you and bring home from your holiday. If you're staying within the EU, go to your local health centre and apply for a European Health Insurance Card, or EHIC card. So when you're on holidays, and if you get sick, you can access that country's hospital and doctors. If you're travelling further afield to places like South Africa, Africa or Asia, you should ask your doctor or travel agent, or look up the web to see if you need injections. This is really important and you shouldn't ignore this. 1 to 2 months before your holiday, make an appointment with a tropical medical agency. This is very important. And don't forget to bring your mosquito repellent. And if the water looks dirty, don't drink it or use ice. Even with all these precautions, there's still one more thing: good quality travel insurance. Make sure your policy covers accidents, if you're sick and require medical assistance, or unexpected events like flight cancellations. Make sure the policy includes theft and that your bag, credit card and cameras are all included. If you're sick, make sure your policy includes costs for emergency travel home. If you already have health insurance, check if they cover travel too. I'll soon be on my way. I've done all my packing. Make sure to bring a high-factor sun cream, good quality sunglasses to protect your eyes, mosquito repellent to ward off mosquitoes. And don't forget to bring plenty of hearing aid batteries so you don't run out. If you regularly take medication, bring enough for your holiday and a copy of your prescription. So if you lose your tablets, you can get them replaced. Make sure to photocopy your original passport, tickets and traveller's checks. Keep the originals on you and the copies separate, perhaps in your bag, so if you lose your originals, you have a copy. Check your flight tickets for your baggage allowance, how heavy your bag can be. If it says 20 kg, this is short for 20 kilograms. If your bag weighs in at 21 kilograms, it means you may have to pay an extra fee. If your bag weighs 24 kilograms, you pay a fee for each kilogram overweight, which could be expensive. So make sure to weigh your bag at home to ensure you don't exceed the baggage allowance and have to pay a fee. Phew. Airport security is tight these days, so be careful about what you pack. Remember, you can only bring one piece of hand luggage onto the plane. Don't pack anything sharp like razors, scissors or tweezers. They are not allowed in your hand luggage, but you can check them in with your suitcase. If you need to bring a hypodermic needle, if you're a diabetic, you will need a letter from your doctor before you can bring them onto the plane. If you want to bring stuff like sprays, deodorant, aftershave or toothpaste, make sure they are under 100 ml and keep them separate in a clear, resealable plastic bag. Remember, even large containers like shampoo with only a bit left will still be taken from you. Phew, if you remember all that, you're ready to go. One last thing, enjoy your trip and bring us back a souvenir.
Today we have a historical deaf success story. Thomas Alva Edison is a very well-known figure in history. He's responsible for a massive number of inventions. In fact, most of the things around you wouldn't be here without him. He invented electricity, one of the first light bulbs, and was responsible for the first film. But did you know he was also deaf? He did not do well at school and was teased by the other children and ran away. But he continued to teach himself at home, always experimenting. When he was offered an operation that would have restored his hearing, he refused, saying his deafness allowed him to focus. He has been called the most influential figure of the millennium.
We've come to the end of the series. We hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot from the programmes. Why not let us know what you thought of the series by leaving a comment on our Bebo page. www.bebo.com/sign-up-TV. Don't forget, for all the information on the topics covered in this series, check out www.deaf.ie or call into the IDS office on Blessington Street in Dublin. Remember, the IDS also provide deaf adult literacy classes all over the country on topics from English to computers, driver theory and finance, all taught through ISL by deaf tutors. Bye.